the second part of the lesson 100 dresses 2. When the first lesson ended, we saw that the children were circling the class, admiring Vanda's paintings. And now you find that someone comes from the principal's office with a note. So Miss Mason asks everyone to sit, and all the children sit. And then you find that the suspense builds up because of the way in which she reads the letter. She reads it slowly, deliberately, and the way she reads, everyone realizes that it's something very important. So all of them were quiet and they were listening to Madam. And she also says that it announces to the class that I have a letter from Vanda's father that I want to read to you. So all are curious to know what's. And then she starts reading. My Vanda will not come to your school anymore. Jake also. Now we move away to big city. No more holler Polak. No more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in the big city. So though the man is not very educated and his letter is not grammatical, his feelings and his pain is clearly revealed in the letter. That's my children won't come to school anymore. We are going to move away from here so that there will be no one who will shout at my children and tease them, calling them Polak. But they won't make fun of them because they're Polish. No one will ask them why you have got such a funny name, because there are many people like us with funny names in the city. So it's a very sad and touching note. And when she reads this, she takes off her glasses, she blows on them, and she looks at the class. And when she speaks, she doesn't scold them or anything, but we understand that she's pained because she speaks in a very low voice and says that maybe whatever happened because of your thoughtfulness, not because you deliberately wanted to hurt her. But what happened, it was a very sad thing. It should not have happened, and I want you all to think about it. Maybe they should reflect on their actions and develop the feeling of compassion, of empathy. That's what the teacher. After this, it was a study period, so no one was taking class. You could sit and learn. But Maddie couldn't learn because in her mind she kept on remembering all the occasions when she and Peggy had teased Vanda. She had not said anything, but she had stood there silently. So she's also a part of the crime. And see, Peggy doesn't know that what she's doing is wrong. Peggy doesn't know the pain of being poor, but Maddie knew it. And yet she kept quiet. So she felt very guilty. So now she thinks, what can I do? Can I go and meet Vanda? Can I ask her not to go away from here? Peggy will come with her and she can go and tell her that, see, we admire your paintings. You're so smart. Please don't go away from here. There's a brief oral comprehension check here. Please pause here, read it, and come. As we continue, that see at that time when the study period was going on, Peggy appeared as if she was very immersed in her studies. She was concentrating on her studies. But immediately after class, she comes to her, and very casually she says, "Shall we go and see if that girl is gone from town or not?" So it's obvious that Peggy is also feeling bad. After class, the two girls go out and they start moving towards Poggins Heights, and a place where they've never gone before. And Peggy says, I never made fun of her name, or I didn't call her a foreigner or anything. And I thought she is too dumb, she's too silly, she cannot understand, we're making fun of her. So indirectly Peggy is trying to justify herself that, see, I haven't done anything wrong. So Maddie didn't say anything. She was going on hoping that they would meet Vanda, they would make everything right, and that in future they would be friends of Vanda, they would protect her from others. But when they reached there, they found that, the house, it seems to be empty, and it looks like Maddie itself. It's clean, but it is shabby. It's obvious that poor people live there, but the people who live there maintained it neat. They go around the house, they can't find anybody. So it's obvious that they have already left the town. So how can they make amends? How can they make up for what they've done? So as they're going back, Peggy says, what can we do? Maybe when I was asking about her dresses, she got the ideas that she used for the contest and she won. So again, Peggy is trying to make it that casually. At night, she's not able to sleep. She's going on thinking about Wanda, about her dress. And then, after all this thinking, she came. Keep quiet and allow someone to be harassed. If someone is being harassed, she would go and she would protect them. This is her way of making up for what she did. On Saturday, she and Peggy together wrote a letter to Vanda telling her about the contest, how her drawings were good, they liked her very much. That actually meant to write sorry, but they don't write sorry, but they write many other things which show that they really regret what they have done. And they wrote the letter to her address, and they've written please forward on the envelope, hoping that someone will forward it to Vanda. But they don't for the reply, they don't get any reply. Again, you can find some questions here from the second comprehension check. Please pause here and complete your. And days went by, Vanda didn't answer. Peggy started forgetting it because it did not pain her as much as Maddie. But Maddie, every day when she sleeps, she's making great speeches to herself about how she's protecting Vanda from people and all these things, how she's stopping people who are troubling her and all that. So in this way, she's consoling herself. Now it's time for Christmas. The holidays are going to start and everyone is in the holiday mood. And on the last day before the school closes, the teacher shows a letter which from Vanda, and so when she says Vanda, all pay attention, because maybe everyone has this guilt within them. And in the letter, Vanda is asked how she is, Miss Mason is, how are all the other students, and she tells that the girls can keep the drawings. She doesn't want them because in her new house she has got a new 100 dresses all lined up in her closet, and she says she wants Peggy to have the green dress with the red trimming and Maddie to have the blue one. The best two paintings she's giving to these girls. And in Christmas, I'll miss you all because my new teacher isn't as good as you. Merry Christmas. And as they're going back, Peggy and Maddie hold their paintings very carefully because it's something very precious for them. And then Peggy says, oh, she liked us, that's why she has given us, and that's why I feel that she has got our letter, and this is a way of telling us that she doesn't have any anger with us. Maddie again thinks of this. Then Maddie went home. She pinned her drawing in the bedroom, and she looked at it, and she's me. And when she goes on looking at the dress, she gets some idea. That is, the picture looks just like herself. Then she runs to Peggy's house and she asks Peggy, let me see your picture. Peggy's picture, and she notices that picture also is modeled on Peggy. So actually when the girl had been drawing the picture itself, she had been thinking of these two girls, and that's why she has drawn this dress on the figure of Peggy and the other dress on the figure of Vanda. So they are so happy to see that. See, then Peggy says maybe she really liked this, and she, when Maddie says that, tears come to her eyes because she thinks of Vanda standing all alone and all of them making fun of them. See, we were so cruel to her, and how nice she is to us. So she really feels. So with this, the lesson comes to an end, and we have a next oral comprehension check. Please children, stop. And those are the textual questions. Complete. Then there are some phrases and their meanings which we have to match. Answers are given for you here. Monday morning blues. That's after the long weekend when we have to go out again on Monday to school or wherever for jobs, people may feel a bit depressed. So that's what is called Monday morning blues. To be red in the face is to feel embarrassed. Ashamed. Look green is to look sick. The red carpet, a special welcome. Blue-blooded, of noble family, of a royal family. Green belt, of course you may have heard of it probably in some martial arts, but it also means a land or area where you cannot construct, which is protected for its environmental purposes. Then blackguard is a bad person whom you can't trust. Grey area, something which is not very clear. And white flag, it's a sign of surrender. You may have read this already in different places. Then blueprint, the idea that we have, the basic structure. Red-handed, when we do something wrong, especially if suppose someone is doing something and we catch them when they're doing it, call it catching red-handed. Green light, permission. Live it. Hope you understood and enjoyed the lesson. Thank you.